Welcome to Baseball Blueprint, your home for all things player development.
All right. Let's get into this. So this is my first time recording this process. I did it a couple times previously, but I had to use MLB Film Room, and it was really difficult. But essentially what we're trying to get into here is we're going to try to map out, we're going to go with Crow-Armstrong today. His generalized average in terms of steal times, expected lead distances, stuff like that, versus let's go Brewers, since we have a better projection of what the Brewers starting rotation is going to be, so how he matches up versus them, and try to predict or see how much potential aggression he could show at minimum risk, and then if he wanted to be more aggressive, what that'd look like too. So the best way to start this is to kind of dive into PCA and find out some projected or generalized average steal times. And I'm sorry for the long form video here. This is going to be a minute. So for those of you who like the quicker action-packed videos, I apologize. But I'm going to give you my whole process here. And I'm pretty old school. I like writing stuff down. But to start, the best way to do this, in my experience, is to go through our leaderboards. We can look at some run value stuff for PCA, but we really want to find an average time, right? That we know everything's different, but we want to know where like he has success at, where he doesn't have success, and once we have a generalized average in terms of steal time, we can start to get an idea of like how aggressive this guy can be. So we're going to talk in terms of stealing second, just because PCA's attempts are really limited to third, so we don't really have to worry about that as much. But there's a lot of attempts to second base. So when you look at our percentages and we want to try to find the aggressiveness of the runner, it's really easy to find that. You just look at the stolen base attempt percentage. PCA's is 7.8, which is really high. These are the most aggressive, best base runners in the game. And they're around like 4 to 5%. And then you got like Ellie and Hamilton and PCA at like 7.8 and above. So really aggressive. But could he be more aggressive? Like we look at this like outs created versus average, and PCA's at 0. Versus Ellie's super aggressive, -10. Even though he's gained more bases, he's also been thrown out more. So should PCA be being more aggressive? Probably. But we're going to find out. We're going to try to find an evidence-based approach to that. So looking in here, we don't necessarily want to discard balk plays. But I'm looking at our footages here. And this has our full columns here because it says show fewer columns. So that means we've already clicked that extended, which gives us this extra footage note. So we're looking at the pitcher's first move here. And again, it's a balk. So he's at 19.7. We probably don't need to go into that too much. That's just for the video. We'll check it out. But this is going to be something that's probably a little bit reckless, or yeah, he's just on a lefty. We can see the step here. It's not quite at a 45. That's what gets called. So he's running first move there. I'm going to turn this volume off. I apologize, guys. But when we look at this at pitcher's first move at a 19.7, right? To me, either he's vaulting into that, which is interesting since he doesn't vault a ton, or that's some kind of like odd misfire in terms of the StatCast. I don't know. But looking at this other one here, let's look off hill. This is a much more conventional 11.2. He got a stolen base out of it. He's at 20.4 at pitch release, which we know from our previous videos and other works we've done. We want to be around that 21, 22 foot mark. That gives us a better shot at stealing the base. And so all we do is we take this little clock and we know where he's at pitcher's first move. So when he's starting 11.2, and I like to have the starting point as well. That way we have an idea of where his lead types and distances are going to be, because there are some where they jump, and that matters. And then if we have a pitcher who delivers quicker, that shorter lead might extend if he's trying to be more aggressive. That gives us a good idea of when to call pick, stuff like that. So, and then at pitch release, he's at 20.4. This is off Schmidt. So let's dive into this. And Schmidt's pretty hard to run on. But now we're clocking from first move to when he touches the base. So that's a 3.28, which is fast. That's also, let's watch this one more time just to get a double check on the clock. This throw's kind of on the money too. Yeah. 3-2-8, and then I got 3-3-1 on the second one. We'll call it a 3-2-9. Again, you don't have to be crazy specific here. This is still baseball, right? There's going to be error, right? So the randomness of the game kind of allows us to be a little bit more, I'm just going to X out these other tabs, allows us to be a little bit more blue collar, I guess, too, because, again, these guys aren't robots. Looking at the next one, this is a stolen base. Here's at 13.6, right? Okay. And then we get out to 22.6 by release. And remember, it takes all these guys different amounts of time to get to release as well, depending on delivery time and stuff like that. So he gains a lot more distance here from first move to release versus what he did with Clark. Clark, he only got 6.9 feet. Here he's at 9.0. So this tells us, like, the delivery's probably slower, but he's also way out there. In my opinion, this play's probably not even going to be close. But we'll take a look at it, see what happens. And again, the numbers can lie to you sometimes. It's a pitch out. Yeah. It's a 306. That's crazy fast. Best of luck to you guys trying to throw him out there. But yeah, what we get from that kind of data is very simple. Like, first of all, if you're a pitcher, your move better be good enough not to let him get out past 13 feet. Like, that's way too big. If he can get out to 13 feet and he's able to return from that, either your move's not good enough or this dude just isn't human in terms of returning, which he does have a very fast return. We can look here. Like, dude, man did not get picked off at all. Not according to this anyway. So his return is elite, but if you look at most of these, like, he's not out past 13. Most of it is within 12. And then, again, these are all stolen base shots, so he does extend his lead, it looks like, on these shots, but still, like, you should not be able to get out to 13-6 and just play ball. You should be able to, you should as a pitcher, here's Keller again, same guy, right? This time he's only to 12.6, so he's a full foot shorter, right? Only gets out to 19.1, so that means his jump was worse too, because out here he got to 22.6. So when we watch this, we'll clock the difference here. Again, we're just creating a generalized average for this. Oh boy, we can't get it on that one. So what's cool about Baseball Savant is we also have the other broadcast view too. There's a little bit of, like, momentum creation there. It's not really enough to give him a huge boost. That's a 3-3-1. But it's not enough to give him a huge boost. I love these camera angles, by the way. But you can watch, like, he tries to get lateral. Like, that's not... To be honest with you, it's pretty dangerous. I don't like that move. And it really didn't speed him up very much. To me, that seems like a waste. But anyway, he's still running. So that's a 3-3-1 at 12.6. And that gets him out to 19.1 at pitch release. I like using the at pitch release stat because, yeah, there's some variation between how long it takes the pitch to get to the plate, but there's less variation there than in terms of the delivery time. So that at pitch release stat gives us a better idea of, like, pure speed of the runner. Like, if this dude's getting out past 20, like, they're pretty much stolen bases. You know what I mean? Like, he's so fast, unbelievably fast, that he has some more forgiveness in terms of his timing. If this is a guy who learned how to vault, it'd be game over. And to be honest with you, looking at this stuff, it's probably pretty close to that already, just from the numbers that we're seeing. But anyway, so that was on Keller. Now let's go to Richards here. We're at 11.6. Shorter lead, more similar to the lead he had on Schmidt, probably because Schmidt's a little bit more deadly. I'm assuming this Richards guy is as well. Gets out to 21.2. Wish I had a camera pointing at my paper, but I'll show you at the end. Gains 9.6 though, so this delivery's not that quick. It's not a great jump either. That's a 3.44. 3.44. Now, when we watch this back, we can see the false step. Go back to it. Watch his left foot. If you've ever seen videos of, like, cheetahs chasing prey, I know it's a weird comparison to make with a human and a cheetah, but, like, they lower their center of gravity and widen out to drive off. We don't necessarily want that on a straight steal attempt. You can see how tall he is. The height here helps with that move. But it also kills your return a little bit. It really doesn't help with your launch either, but if it makes him feel faster, you know what I mean? So when we're watching this, like he's rocking, I don't like that rocking move. Look how low he gets. He goes from here, drops, he's still not as low as he is. I mean, look how much lower he got there. So imagine if he just started at that posture, you know what I mean? And then ripped through. That'd be a much faster time. And again, this is at a 3.44 or something like that. So one of those things where like he's so fast he can get away with a lot of stuff. But there's stuff to be optimized for sure. So that's a 3.44 off Richards. And again, if he's getting out to 21.2, he's got the bag. And so looking at the next one, there's no throw here. Let's see if we get an accurate steal time though. Again, we just want to bookmark these steal times is all. We can go 3.22 there. Anytime they're sliding in competitively, we can give that, especially if it's a 3.22, it's fast. So we go back to it. That was off Richards. No, that was off Armstrong. That's 9.9. And he started at 12 feet and got out to 21.9. And so he's really picking his time well. He's got slower delivery guys that he's running on for sure. This next one's off Lodolo. Starts at 12.9, big lead. Again, if you can get out to 12.9 and get back, that's really impressive. Especially with the way we're using replay now. He got out to 22.9. So, like, here's my thing, right? He's getting out to 22.9. To be safe most of the time, he just needs to be around 21, 20 feet. Like, most of these plays aren't close either, right? But he's getting out to 22.9. Why risk the bigger lead and getting picked off? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Let's see if this is a close play. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. And he's running first move here. 3.15. And to be honest with you, that probably would have been a close play had it been a good throw. So I guess I eat my words a little bit. 3.15. Yeah, that might have been a close play. So maybe that's one of those things too where you get a left-handed pitcher. Maybe he doesn't show that step-off move, like where you drop slot really quick. Because if they don't have that, it's really easy to get back on a one-way, and you just flip your coin. But let's go to another righty and see. I don't know if Milner's a righty or not. Let's find out. So here he's at 13.1, huge lead. In general, if I'm the one operating and you see a really big lead, usually that's because we have a lefty who's a predetermined guy, and we'll show that larger lead on a one-way and then flip the coin and shoot it. Let's see if this is what we got here. Yeah, lefty. We're vaulting. Ah, that's kind of clean. 3.19. 3.19 from 13. Now, I want to bookmark which one of these are vaults, okay? Or vault attempts. Because sometimes the technique, like we saw from the first vault attempt we saw from PCA, wasn't great. If we look back at this one, it's still the technique that's taught, right? And there's no always or nevers. I say that too much, but there's no always or nevers. But this right reach step is so necessary. Like, we need to take this right reach step to keep our hips inside our knee. But even that, like, that's not a clean vault. That doesn't give him a big boost. He's just hopping a little bit. Like, if he just settles in and steals from that point, he's probably got it anyway. I just think, I guess with a guy like that, though, if they don't have that step-off move, it's not as much of a risk. I just think the technique can be cleaner there, especially with that kind of guy. Like, he has so much body control, it's ridiculous. Okay, it's a vault, 13.1. And so I'm just bookmarking the numbers here and going to the next one. Next, we've got Fernandez. No reception. Let's see if we can get a time here. We're going to call that a momentum lead, too. Watch this, guys. I'm not a huge fan of this at all. This is like he's crawling out to extend footage. Let me go back real quick. He is at 12.5 at pitcher's first move. I got a 3.43 there. So, again, we don't have a competitive throw, so I don't know how realistic this would have been. But watching him slide in here, it makes it look like he's still being competitive. We're going 3.43 with that. at 12.5. And here's my thing. I don't think this technique is that helpful with how he runs. Like, we watch him crawling out. So maybe it could be helpful if this guy's got an elite pickoff move and he just wants to take a shot here, so he's trying to inch out farther. The problem is the first step is bad. Like, drop step. You know what I mean? Like, he's taking all this momentum out and then drop steps right as he goes to launch, which is his technique, which is fine. And look at the angle he makes. Like, he accelerates so well from 45 here. Like, he's done such a good job. Shin angles are good. I mean, he's dorsiflex there. I mean, that's really nice. The problem being, though, is, like, why take the risk of, like, if you're calling out and he picks and you're canned? You know what I mean? So, anyway, he got out to, that was 12.5. He got out to 22.8 there, which is, like, great. 22.8. But we have that at a 3.43. And so crawling down, we can't use this one, unfortunately, because we don't have the metrics. We could watch it and time it, but it wouldn't help us as much because we don't know the lead length, and I don't want to assume anything. When we have data, let's use the data. Next one's at 12.1. And he gets out to 21 feet. This is against Hicks. Let's see what we got here in terms of timing. So there's another rock type move. We have to use the other broadcast video and hope it's got the camera on the pitcher. Yep. That was a little late, I think. 319. Let me reset this, see if I can get it again. Yeah, that's clean. 334. Yeah. So, not bad. 334. I mean, we've seen faster, though. We've got him down by a 306, but then again, he was at 13.6 feet. Watch the technique again. He rocks, right? And so the point of this rock move is to get that back foot, when I'm circling here on the screen, planted as he goes. That way we can tuck that right foot in as we have momentum going this way. The problem is, watch what his back foot does. It has to replace, and then he goes. So it kind of just delays your reaction time. Imagine if you're just settled, and then you just make that move right off the rip, instead of having to reset everything. Boom, you just launch. Which, a 3.34 is not bad, but also, this is at 12.1. We got him at 11.2 earlier, stealing at a 3.29. So, he's capable of being faster when he's grounded. And on that move, oh yeah, I have to put that he was moving here, the movement. And on that one, there wasn't any movement. So let's dive back into the next one. That was at 12.1. And I'm sorry I'm boring you guys. I might fast forward through some of this. Here's some unique numbers. Okay, so we're starting at 11.4. We get out to 25.9. So this delivery is about to be slow. Slow. Gains 14.5 feet on the jump from first move to delivery. Oh, wow. It's a 307. I might have been quick. Let's find out, because that was fast. That was good. 316. That's fast. So again, sometimes we don't have the angle to tell if he's using momentum or not. But I'm going to keep checking the away broadcast view. Yeah, bummer. No view. So, 316 there. No clue if he was using movement, but we do know that was a slow delivery. That's at 11.4 right here, and that's off Bivens. So we know if Bivens is on the bump, we have a free bag. Here's 12.1. We don't have a catch. Let's see if we get a time here. Got out to 22.2, so this play probably is... Yeah, so there's a grounded move. I can't see that finish. Hold on. Oh, we have the network broadcast. So that's one of the tough things about being the average fan is you don't have those extra views. So we can't tell exactly. We can guesstimate. We don't want to, but we can guesstimate the time here just by when he slides in. Yeah, see, I'm late. So let's not take a time there. Let's not take a time because that's fast, and I don't want to have to guesstimate that. But look at the reactions from when he's grounded. So this is what I was talking about with that grounded versus non-grounded. He's still going to drop his back foot likely, But now he can do it while he's tucking his foot in normally. He doesn't have to be like rocking back and forth. And even then, like, he didn't tuck. Watch, the back foot stays grounded and he just pushes. Boom. That's faster. Let's see if he can create the same angle there. He gets out to that 45 pretty well. And he stays low. I mean, that's good. That's really, really good. Okay, 11.4 was our last successful one. Let's see if we get one here. Fernandez again. There's some movement. 3-2-2 off Fernandez. And again, I'm sorry for those of you who are getting frustrated by my lack of accuracy. 3-2-5 on the second one, so we'll call it a 3-2-2. I like that. My lack of accuracy on these calls from the timer standpoint, but it's the best we got. And so there's movement here. He's rocking. There's a little hop. We can see it right there. That actually slows him down. Pitchers went, and then he hops, and then he runs. Imagine if he just started tucking and running here instead of doing this. Little hop. You see what I'm saying? So that was actually a little bit slower than normal for him. But he was at a 3-2-2 there, which is fast. And he was stealing from 11.6, which is really quick. And he got out to 22.6, which is hard to throw him out from anyway. So that catcher would have had to have a perfect throw either way. Here we got Matten. Yeah. So he's at 13 here. Again, we see these bigger leads. My head goes straight to, oh, this is probably lefty. Let's take a look. Righty. It's a 3 flat. Am I missing something here? Nope, 3 flat. Again, stealing from 13. Got a great jump. Can't tell if there's movement there. Let's look and see if the wave broadcast had any video of him. He was trying to, but his feet kind of settled in. Watch this again, guys. Ah, okay. Like he's crawling here, but he stopped himself. Attempt at movement, I guess. Very cool. Very cool. So that was 13. Now we go. Next is Hunter Green. Stealing from 11.4, got out to 19.7. Now this isn't very far out for him. I bet this is a pretty close play, unless this catcher botches it. Let's see. Not bad. I had a 3-3-1 there. Let me make sure I'm right. Three, two, two. One more time, just to make sure. Yeah, 3-2-2. Okay, so a couple things here that drive me nuts. They drive me absolutely nuts. This is very, very clearly a pitch out. Like, without a doubt, this is a pitch out. Why are we going high leg lift? Watch his leg. You know what I mean? Like, if you know this is the situation and you literally set it up right, this would drive me nuts as a pitching coach or a defensive coach. Like, you have the play set up, just know why we're doing it. We're doing the pitch out to get the ball to the catcher in a better spot quicker. Like, it's a quick slide step to him. And we know from what we've seen with the other data, like, this isn't the guy who stares in at the pitch as the pitcher goes. Like, he sees first movement and he's a head turn guy. So it's not like he's going to pull up once he sees a guy slide step. You know what I mean? Oh, that's sickening. They had him too. Dead to rights. Anyway, 3-2-2 is hard to throw out even when you're doing a slide step, but it's still, it drives you nuts when you set it up like that and you can't execute. So from 11.4 there, where's that at? Right here. This goes next to 12.1, got up to 22.2. that right? Let me see. No, we're here. Whew. I'll mess that up. 11.6 to 22.6. There we go. We're on it now. It's off Sims. Sims has a fairly slow delivery, if I remember correctly. Yeah. It's a 3-1-0. It's a 3-1-0. No need to throw that even. Right? I mean, this play's not close. Let's watch that again. Maybe he's trying to draw contact. Watch the catcher's body into the batter. Maybe he's trying to draw contact there. Yeah. I mean, that's the only way I could see him wanting to throw that ball. Either way. 3-1-0 from 11.6. Again, we can't tell if there's movement, which is a bummer. That's where that first base cam would really come in nicely. Next, we've got Bednar. He's out to 15.5. Wow. Then 26.4. These are the ones where I get worried about even taking into account because they're so outlandish that it makes me feel like it would so skew our generalized average. Like, this is an outlier that I would not want to put in there. I mean, look at this. Oh, my gosh. Do you see how far out he is? He's out to 15 feet. Right here, he's at, like, 13 feet. If you're vaulting at 13 feet, like, you've got to call something. Like, and I don't know if maybe he went quiet and then just started to do this on this pitch or what, but it is a one-run game, bottom of the ninth, with this guy on first base. Everyone knows he's running. Unless Bednar's move is so bad, like it's got to be like a 1-4 to first. Ugh, sickening. It's an 0 count. There's no way they just picked off twice in a row. You know what I mean? That third pickoff maybe is the only time where I'd see you not trying to make something happen here. But, like, come on, Rowdy, say something, dude. You know what I mean? Like, this guy is bouncing crazy at an ungodly footage. All right. Now, with that in mind, technique's not great. I bet this isn't his fastest steal time that we've seen. It's a 3-2-2. It's a 3-2-2, which matches up with his old school steal at 12 foot. So you tell me what's more risky. This at 15 feet. Let's confirm. 15 feet. Is it 15 feet or just straight stealing from 12 feet and still getting out to 22 feet? Wild stuff. So we're gonna try not to add that into our generalized average because that is such an outlandish and outliery thing. I don't want it to skew the data because as a defense you should have awareness to handle that anyway. At least they know it's there. Here's one, he's at 13 and he gets out to 26.8, which is crazy. Let's see if there's a throw here. Oh, that's slow. I can't tell if there's any. Let me go to the way broadcast, see if we can get a steal time for him. There we go. No steal time for him, but we could assume get out to 26. Batter, fake bunting when he's so far out there. He had this easy, I'm sure. Which is a bummer. We don't have a time for it, but you win some, you lose some. Next one went from 22.6. We should be. Was that Kerr? That was Kerr. I think we're at Bednar again. Here we're at 13.5. Oh man, just giant leads off Bednar. I'm gonna write this one down just for the heck of it. I might put a star by it, not to use it in my main data, but we'll see. 25.4. That is a gain of 11.9 feet. My Lanta. Let's take a look at this, see what he does. Okay, here we go. Can't see him, but we can get the first move. 3-1-2. Oof. See that again. Let me double check. Yeah. I think he just, when you're out to 13.5 feet, Remember, this footage is taken from center mass, so his right foot's probably closer to like 14, 15 feet. When you're not that far, like, you know, you can slide feet first because you got it. But that's another one too, where like we get these generalized averages. Part of me wants to say, okay, from this footage down are the times we'll take for our generalized average. Otherwise, like, we've done something horrendously wrong to allow a guy to get out to 13.5 feet. Maybe the away broadcast video will have something for us. It does not. Big bummer. And buffering. But, yeah, just one of those things. Tough. So that was Bednar number 2. Going to Peralta here. 11.9. Got out to 27. My gosh. Oh, that's slow. And so we can't get a time for this either. No slide, no competitive slide, so no time. Scribble. Next. Next is Garrett. He's at 12.8, got out to 20.1. Wow. 12.8, 20.1. Let's see how close this play is. Oh boy. Oh, Jeff. Oh, dude. Sniper. Let's watch that again. That was a 3-1-2 for those of you guys wondering. Oh, it's painful. I don't even think he tripped on the bag is the thing. I think he just tripped into space. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it was the bag. Let me see if the way broadcast video has anything different. Turn the camera faster. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. But we could get a competitive steal time in a 3-1-2. 12.8 foot lead. Not too shabby. And let's go, next up is Keller again. I mean, again, oh wait, no, okay, we're good. I was about to say 15 feet. I did this in my last video too. I got it confused where like, I thought it was second base, it's third base. So we're good. So these are our numbers. If it'll focus, that's all right if it won't. You get the idea of the data. I'll do the math and get back with you, and then we'll continue going. But we're going to compare this, his generalized average in terms of footage, based on the Brewers starting lineup for 2025, and we'll see how it goes. All right, and we're back. So now we're going to take a look at the Brewers starting rotation projections. This is probably not going to be what it ends up being, but it's more fun this way. So we'll start with Peralta. Woodruff. Again, I'm just writing these down, and then I'm going to bookmark their weapons. So, like, is he an elite pickoff move guy? Is he quick to the plate? Is he not either of those things? Where are the weaknesses at? What can we attack? Stuff like that, which is really cool, but also sometimes hard to find because they're the best in the world at what they do. Their weaknesses sometimes are a little bit limited. And so they have all these other guys here. I'm not going to look into them. We're going to go with the top 5 guys. So Peralta, Woodruff, Myers, Cortez, and Savali. Anyway, the best way to do this, I think, is to go on, like, MLB Film Room probably and check that stuff out. But I'm going to use Baseball Savant and see if it makes it easier. So when we go to running game, this is for the pitchers. And we can just search this up. So let's go with Peralta first. Here we go. Freddie Peralta. Oh, wrong thing. Don't click that. We got Peralta here. Let me show more columns. Apologize. So this gives us all of the stolen base attempts, caught stealing, stuff like that. So he's a -4 net bases prevented, which is poor, which is not good. Runners were 13 for 16 against him, trying to steal, and he also balked once. He had a total of 0 pickoffs. 0 pickoffs. Now, he's a right-handed pitcher, so not ideal. It's not really that good. The stolen base attempt percentage is 1.6, which isn't bad. Diving into this a little bit, let's sort. There's our balk. And so it does give us our footage, just like in the base stealing one. It gives us our footage, where we're at pitch release, stuff like that. We want to find out average delivery times. We don't need to go through his whole pitch arsenal like we did with the runners. Just try to get a good group. And we're going to want to use runners who are traditionally fairly quick, because oftentimes pitching coaches will bucket runners as like, hey, here's a green runner, yellow runner, red runner. That way the deliveries are going to be similar to what we'd see against PCA. So we've got our clock. We could forget about the caught stealings and stolen bases for now. As long as the footage isn't absurdly bad, we're good. So let's look. IKF is known to be a pretty quick runner. Here's a stolen base of him at 11 feet. He gets out to 18.6. So he only gained 7.6. This is probably a pretty quick delivery for Peralta, considering the lead lanes gain are usually larger than that. So this is a good one to use. So let's dive into this. Let's clock it, and then start to identify some things with him. It's a 138 for Peralta. So that's one of his quicker deliveries, I'd guess. 138. And we'll be able to evaluate the catchers too. But to be honest with you, this is probably more important. The pitcher delivery time. Like these guys, the disparity between the catchers is less than the disparity between the pitchers in terms of like time to the plate and like inconsistencies, I guess. Pop times are fairly more consistent than what we're seeing here with delivery times. Let's look here. Here's Abrams. Let's do that. No, big lead from Abrams, but doesn't get out very far. Is only at 20.4 by the time the pitch is delivered. Let's take a look at this delivery time. Tried to be quick. Try that again. That was a lot of elbows and arms coming at you there, boys. Wow. 131. 131 delivery time. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Let's get a look at that pop time just for later. This is a pretty quick pop time. It's a great throw too. It's a 178. That's unreal. Wow. Wow, very nice. Very nice. Let's get one or two more here. Here's Pilar. He's pretty fast. No, he gets out to 10.4. Aye. It's a 150. Not ideal. So one of the things that I can see right off the bat with Peralta that we can take advantage of if we're PCA, there's no pickoffs, right? So we want to try to find a pickoff attempt, a way to find out if this guy has a threatening pickoff move at all. Usually a good way to see that is to look at the pickoffs, but this guy doesn't have any. So our first assumption is maybe his pickoff move just isn't good. But we can also go to MLB Film Room. And sort by pickoff attempts. And so even if he doesn't pick off the runner, we can get an idea of the timing. So we can just time from glove to glove. And then that gives us a better idea. This is Peralta. Let's go Freddie Peralta. Let's go pitching. What am I first? I mean, Film Room is sweet. It makes things a lot easier. Then we're going to look for... He didn't have any pickoffs, so we don't want to search that. But we want to look up pickoff attempts. Pickoff attempts. So he's had a lot of pickoff attempts because it's a full season. So not all of these are going to be helpful. I've also got an ad blocker on this. If you don't have an ad blocker, it's 15 seconds between videos. Best of luck. I just couldn't handle that, so I put an ad blocker up. Yeah, not great. That's a 1 flat on me. Let's look at the next one here. Yeah, it's slow. Ugh. And so I'm just going through and bookmarking these times. It doesn't have to be anything perfect. Slow feet. You're just keeping runners in check. Like, we're not seeing A moves here, which is not good. I'd rather see an A move here. That looks like his A move. We couldn't see when the pitcher caught it, though. That's an A move. Here's the thing. You can't trust the camera either here too, which sucks. I wish you could trust the camera, but watch the cut here. Boom, he hasn't even got his arm up, and then it cuts to him throwing it. So a lot of times the timing seems so fast. It's like, man, a .86, that's wildly quick. You don't see that at all at the college game. Well, it wasn't really a .86. It's just how the camera cut. For example, he was just at a 1 flat or above 3 times in a row. And this one, he was a .60. But again, video's not right. So we have to try to find a video where there's less variation on the switch. Like that one there was no time between. So we can see from this, and we can see the pace of the mover. This is not going to be a threat to PCA. That was the fastest his feet have looked. Let's look here. Yeah, I mean, again, the timing and the switch from camera angle is tough. I wish it wasn't like that, but it is. And so the other way to do this is you can go back into archive games and watch a start and try to get some pickoff times there. The camera still swings, but you get a better idea of it. That's what I would probably do had I not been making this video. But we can also, I don't think we have pickoff attempts on search. I'll double check here. We'll go to baseball. I don't want to lose that page on the pitcher running game. But I want to make sure that we don't have that. Yeah, we don't have that. Nope, we do not have pickoff attempts. We don't have pickoff attempts, which is a bummer. But we can tell from him, pickoff move's not elite. We can see that there's no pickoffs all year last year. He had a lot of innings, ton of stolen base opportunities, didn't pick anyone off. A lot of people ran, not very many people got caught out. So this is going to be a guy who we should be aggressive against. And so right off the rip, right, we're thinking, okay, Freddie Peralta, last year, we should have ran all over him if we were PCA. Well, let's look at PCA and what he did last year. I'm kind of just following wherever my interest goes here. Sorry, guys. There's one off Peralta. So we have one bag off Peralta. Now, the good thing is, let's look at how he stole it. 11.9, so not a giant lead. Got out to 27. Which is crazy. So his steal time on Peralta was 11.9. Well, let's look. Hold on. I want to make sure, because I didn't get that. Oh, boy. Oh, there's no throw, no slide, so it was free. It was free. That probably might have been sub 3 there. Look at the technique he used. Just stay still, right? You got a guy like this who's a layup. Don't add wrenches into it. Just take your layup. You know what I mean? It's good. That's really good. Okay. Now going back into the pitching. So Peralta's done. Peralta's a yes run, be aggressive type guy. He should be taking advantage of him next year. Now we've got Woodruff. So with Woodruff, let's see what he brings to the table. If I could spell his name right. Do we have any major league innings for this Woodruff fella? What if we go here? 1. I guess not. What if we go regular season and playoffs? Nope. Nothing for Woodruff. All right. Tobias Myers. Oh, -3. This PCA guy is getting layups here. I say that. It's just, he's got a lot of righties who can't hold running game. Bases prevented versus average, -2. He's balked 3 times. Oh, boy. Okay, guys, give me 2 seconds here. I'm here knocking at the door. I got to go handle that, and I will be right back. All right, and we are back. So going back into Myers, again, we're looking at some of the things that we can take advantage of if we're PCA. And so with Myers, it looks like he boxed quite a bit. I want to kind of see what we're looking at here. Our second base is our target base. We don't need to look at third base right now. But if we're prepping for a series, absolutely we would. What the heck? What are we looking for here? Whoa, that was interesting. Looked like his leg was fully off the ground. Yeah, he's clean to there. Wonder what happens. He looked at first. I wonder if the pitcher said like back or something. That's probably what happened. Oh man, that's unlucky. Let's go back and look at the other ones here. Here's another balk. Again, we're getting first moving pitcher release. I wonder if the runner's just running, and there's PCA at the dish. Same deal. What happened there? See where he looks. Look where the eyes go after. Straight to first. Yeah. Let's look at the numbers. See if they're at pitch release. I don't know how, by the way, how are we getting pitch release on this? Didn't throw a ball. I question this data. All right. Moving on. Here's another one at second. Or running to second. Let's see if it's the same deal. That time he looked at the mound. This is nuts. I've never seen anything like this. This is at home, too. Sorry, guys. This is intriguing. He did peek. He did peek at first. Look at his head. Right here. Boom. Oh, no. It's probably just someone's in motion, and he hears step off. Anyway. So we're looking at stuff within 12 feet because that's where I took the, not within 12 feet, within 13 feet, because that's where I took the generalized average for PCA from. So here's a caught stealing, positive on his pitcher stealing runs. Let's see how he does here. He's pretty quick to the dish. It's a 1-4-1. Nick Gordon caught stealing. Next, here's 10.7. Yeah, you better get caught at 10.7. Slow. Watch that again, though. It really wasn't as slow as I thought it was. 1-3-4. Yeah. So the breaker's not... That's so funny. Some guys are like that. That's really, really good. So... we're starting to see why he's harder to run on. And it's because he's pretty quick to the dish. Not ungodly quick. Oh, I whiffed on it, boys. I'm sorry. Let's try it again. So 1, 3, 2. Fairly consistent on these ones at least. We'll be able to see more on the average ones too. Let's look at some of the ones that he didn't throw anyone out on. Here's a lot of ground covered. I wonder if someone's vaulting or if he just decided to go slower to the dish here. Early break. It's a 1-6-9 too, so that's out of character. Let's look at one of the other ones here. This is probably closer to that 1-3 mark. Yeah, 1-3-4. So we got a 1-6-9 outlier, 1-3-4. We're going to bookmark him around a 1-3-3. I'd say is probably a decent generalized average for him, which is not too far off. Peralta, a little bit quicker consistently, but not too far off. Now, here's what I love is when we have pickoff moves here. That usually tells us he's got a decent move, but not always. So let's take a look at this. Ooh, my Lanta. Again. Wow, jeez. It's another thing with the camera swings though. I wish I had the one camera from first base. I don't know if I can trust that this camera swing is without a gap, but it sure does look like there's no gap here. This is lightning fast. I'm scared to tell you guys the number because I'm getting a 0.72. I mean, that's deadly. That's deadly. Let's go back to the other one. Wow. Stolen base guys beware. This is quick. Okay, what's happening here? Let's look at the other video. Maybe we have the away broadcast video that can give us some insight. Oh no, did we freeze? Ah, do we not have a away broadcast video? No away broadcast video. Bummer. Okay, that stinks. Never mind, I guess we only get one pickoff. Jeez. Let's look at this. This is a forced balk. This is a pickoff attempt. That's good. Oh, PCA with a little jab step. Oh, that's 3. Take your base. No way broadcast video there either. Let me see. See a little jab step there. Wow. I wish I had that number. Anyway, dude seems like he's got a pretty decent delivery time. Pretty tough to run on. And he's got a really good pick move. If we played pretend and imagine these blocks weren't here, I bet he's around a 0 or a +1. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at the deliveries, like, he's not too far off. They don't do this for stolen bases, but it's like, I don't know. Like, you get a range. Stolen bases is like +20 or +19. These you can get like -06, -10. I wish they told us exactly how that works, but with the box, it's like a stolen base where it's always -20. With the pickoff, it's always 0.45 for stolen base. Cut stealing is -45. But yeah, interesting. This is a guy who stolen base opportunities weren't low. They weren't low, so he'd be one that'll be a battle next year. I'm assuming if PCA stays on his track, which is like less aggression, more surgical aggression. I should say, but more surgical aggression. I bet we'll see some different stuff from him. But we'll go patient. Sure hope I spelled that right. So, next guy in the rotation, we've got Cortez. Nestor Cortez, left-handed pitcher. So this changes things a little bit because we know that PCA is fine showing movement against lefties. Now, I would not do that against Nestor because he has that nasty step-off move that he can do. But let's look at some delivery times. We kind of want to ballpark lefties into read move guys or non-read move guys. With Nestor, he would be what I consider a non-read move guy, so he can't make his mind up after he raises his leg most of the time. I'd say more often than not, he has his mind made up before he makes his first move, like whether he's picking, whether he's going to the dish, which makes things a little bit easier. That being said, like, he did a great job last year holding runners. This is going to be a huge point of emphasis for him with the Brewers because they've had a really tough job doing that. But when we look at this stuff, here we got a stolen base opportunity here. This is one of those situations where, like, if he had a read move, that would have been the move that he could go to first on, but he doesn't. And then it's a 1-6-3. So that tells you as a coach, at least for that specific scenario, the runner's moving first move. Like, you should be able to change your mind. If he wasn't running first move, that play wouldn't have been that close. Like, he would have been way out. So let's look at the next one here. Let's go. To 1-6-0. Yeah, so he's around a 1-6-0 on his normal delivery. But again, he's at a +3 here, which is good. So he's holding runners well, but his delivery time's not great. And I'm sure he mixes it up. Let's look at this cut stealing here. He's only at a 0.01 on the negative. So this is pretty close. This was overturned. This is what I mean. It's a 188. This is what I mean about running on first move versus running on the read move. This is 100% Mullins running on the read move. Otherwise, there would be no play. But this is a 0.188 delivery, which is slow, like really, really slow. There should not be a play at second here. But instead, you've got Mullins running on a read move and gets absolutely canned. So that actually gets overturned. Cedric Mullins should never get thrown out on this play. Ever. Ever, ever, ever should he get thrown out. He should be going first move. Now, when we go back and look at his pickoffs, let's see if those are ones where he's going high leg lift and adjusting, or if he's going quickly to first. High leg move. That's a predetermined move. So this isn't a move where he changed his mind, and you can tell because of the way his weight moves. His weight doesn't go up in the middle and hang. It goes that way. I wish I knew how I was going to orient this video so you had a better idea. But his weight goes, boom, that way. Watch immediately. Right when his leg lifts up. Boom. He's shifting. He gets that little ride. From here, it goes, Boom. It's a great move. And so as a runner, right, if we're going to try to run against this, I'm on a one-way until I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to flip my coin at some point because he's not a read move guy. And also, if he was a read move guy and he was seeing Neto break, then Neto wouldn't be sliding back. He would have been at second base, and there would have been a ping-pong play from Rizzo. So, not a read move guy. But the move's good. Good move. So this is the kind of guy I like to call coin flip. So if we want to show aggression, if we're in a time of the game where we want to show aggression, then that's where I would be like, okay, let's find a good time to run that's less predictable, because we know PCA is not going to be above like a 3.50 on a stolen base attempt, especially if he's inside a good footage. So like if he's anywhere from like 12 to 11 feet, which is where he should be on Nestor, put him on a one-way for the at-bat until we find a good time to run, and then we just shoot it. And so with that move, pretty hard to run against if you're not on a one-way all the time. If you're like trying to read stuff, not the guy to do it against. Not Nestor Cortez. He's too sneaky. He's too good. So last one, volley. Let's type this in here. I think, right? Yeah. Okay. Now he's got 8 bases prevented, which is a lot. And I'm assuming it's because he's so quick to the dish, because he's fast. We're going to look at the results here, sort them. Here's a caught stealing. A .34 is wildly, wildly valuable. Your catcher should have no problem throwing someone out here. At a pitcher's first move, he's at 10.6 here. So let's dive into this. One, 2, 8. I mean, look at this. The Angels are so aggressive. I like watching them play, but sometimes, like, yeah, it's 0-0. Great time to run. 1-0 count. Like, not like a running count per se, but whatever. But the problem is, like, look at the footage. We're at 10.6. Like, why not? Like, if you're going to be aggressive, be aggressive. He only gained 2.3 feet. That's it. 2.3 feet. When we watch this, I bet he's rocking. Yeah, that rock move, not a fan. Not a fan of the rock. Settle in if you're going to rip it old school. I mean, that is unbelievable. He threw this how hard? 92. This is throwing sinkers at 92. This quick. Ugh. Hard to run on. Hard to run on. It's a 1, 2, 8. Anyway, +4, that's good. Anyway, here we go. Now we got a legit attempt. Here we go. 12.2 feet. 12.2 feet. Ooh, 144 on the breaker, boys. Good luck throwing anyone out on that pitch. You got to be like Austin Wells or someone to drop a slot on that kind of pitch to throw anyone out. Look at this. That's nasty. Now, if that was a fastball, which would have tunneled with it, that would have been great. Right at his chest, throwing him out. It's a 144 to the dish. Here we go. Positive pitcher stealing runs right here. Good delivery. Runners at a 9.6 again. Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Let's look at this situation. We got a 1-1 game, 1-0 count, 1 down. This is not like a must-run count either. You know what I mean? Sorry, guys. Let me replace the video real quick. I apologize. Okay, we're back in. I shouldn't have blown it up. Every time I go full screen, the video leaves. Anyway, not a must-run count. Not a must-run count. I'm assuming the pitching coach was like, yeah, run here. Or the first base coach was like, yeah, run here. You got the time. And then you get O'Neal Cruz, who forces one, I'm assuming, because his footage is so small. It's a 1-3-4. 1-3-4. I keep making these comments, but also they're safe. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I think I might just be too conservative for that kind of deal. Anyway, last one here. Let's look at Trout. Stolen base. He's stealing from 10.3. Again, why? It's a 1-4-4. Free base. But his deliveries are pretty quick. The breaking ball is far slower than the fastball, so we're looking to steal on breaking ball type counts. Most of these guys are stealing early in the count. They're not waiting very long, which means I assume means it's not count base running. Let's go to film room. Check out his pickoff move again. I wish I could use the clock on film room. I just can't trust it. I would love to go through the video on our full video database, which I could do. The problem is, like, it just takes an hour and a half, 2 hours. So we're not going to dive into that too much. So again, with film room, you just make sure you get the categories figured out. This is it's going to be pitching. We're going to have a runner on first base. And we got a pickoff attempt. So again, I can't use the clock because I don't know the camera swing, if it's going to be in tempo or not. I just need to watch his feet and his body. That's quick. Yeah, that's fast. I'm going to watch that. Watch that one again. Watch the next one. Watch the next one here. Yeah, he's giving A moves here. There's a vault guy. And McCarthy. Give me the full angle. Oh, they keep switching like that. I don't like it. His feet, the turn radius is really quick and the arm stays short. I like it. It's a good move, man. So decent move. Quick delivery. Okay, so if we're gonna go through, we'll end it there. So what I've got here, I've got PCA as a generalized average. If he stays within 12 feet, it's faster when he gets beyond that, but he's also way more dangerous. But if he stays anywhere from like 12 to 11 feet, I've got him at a 3.25 generalized average. So that's where he's gonna ballpark. He's been slower, but usually when he's slower, he's trying something else. Like he's trying some kind of like awkward movement stuff. Rarely does his movement speed him up. I think it's probably just a technique thing, but it only ever speeds him up when he gets beyond 12. Like, so if he's got a vault that takes him to 13, then he's quicker than if he just straight steal from 12. But if he's getting out to 12 on his vault, he's not hitting that clean enough. The technique's not quite there to speed him up. So we got him at a 3.25 with the generalized average. We're looking at Peralta getting some pretty heavy damage done by that. Woodruff is going to be a question mark because we don't have his data. Myers is going to be a guy that's going to be more of a battle between those two. That would be really cool to watch. That'll be a good matchup. Cortez, to be honest with you, I think PCA is going to tear him up. You just have to find the right time. Be willing to accept that coin flip. And then with Savali, I mean, it's pretty good battle. I'd say that's comparable to Myers. But Savali has a better pickoff move, which is probably a little bit more dangerous. It's going to force PCA to have either shorter lead or get picked off. And so his generalized average is somewhere between like a 1.28 and 1.4, depending on if it's a fastball or breaker. I'd say PCA is probably willing to take a shot there because most catchers are bookmarking somewhere around a 1.96. Now they're on their toes with him on the base, so sometimes it's quicker with him. But with the breaker that Savali has, it's really hard to match that and throw someone out on. It's too tight. So anyway, fun little breakdown, fun to work with. And then knowing my luck, like half this staff will be not in Milwaukee by the time the season starts around. But these are going to be good matchups to watch. I want to watch that first series they play next year, and then refer back to this video and see if I had any of this right. You know what I mean? It might be completely backwards, but that's how I do my scouting reports for our college guys and for our pro guys now that I'm working with. This kind of breakdown is going to be very similar to what they get. That way, when it comes to how they want to use their talents, they have some evidence behind why. When they get asked, why did you run there? Here's why. Why did you use this technique? Well, here's why. Because if you can't give a why, it's way more difficult to convince your coaches to let you use the necessary techniques to go tear it up. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Reach out if you need anything, and make sure to check out the Baseball Blueprint podcast. Apple, Spotify, it'll be on the Baseball Blue Book YouTube channel as well. Shout out Valley Sporting Goods for being a sponsor. Check out the Infield Play community on Twitter, the base stealing and speed development community on Twitter as well. That one's pretty good too. So, all right, y'all. Peace.